Hello, hello, and welcome to Coaching Corner with me, Tracy Forsyth. And today I want to share with you what I learned when I was 16, I think, from a Hard Rock cafe waitress. So when I was 16, I went to a school in Yorkshire and we went to London on a history trip. And the great excitement about that trip was not the history lectures we were going to, but the fact that a small group of us were going to cut loose, sorry, school, and go to the Hard Rock Cafe in Piccadilly. So this is way back in 1986, before the Hard Rock was like an ubiquitous global chain. So this was the only Hard Rock Cafe in the UK. So it was a very, very big deal. So a group of about 6 of us went, so exciting, sat down, and then our waitress appeared. So she was this incredible sort of glamorous rock and roll granny. She must have been in her 70s. She was wearing a mini dress uniform and Reebok high tops, red lipstick, grey hair, and an updo. And that, first of all, blew our little teenage minds for starters. So I can still picture her today carrying our huge plates of burgers, ribs, chips, milkshakes, you name it. But what really, really has stuck in my mind over the last, like decades, was a little badge, or I think Americans call it a pin, little badge that she was wearing with the Hard Rock logo on it. And it said, "Love all, serve all. Love all, serve all." And listen, I'd like to say that's influenced me ever since, but of course it didn't. I was a teenager and I probably thought at the time, in fact, I did think at the time, it meant that they would just welcome any kind of customer and that all customers were welcome. They loved everybody and they welcomed everybody. So now I'm older, and probably because I'm a coach, that love all, serve all comes to mind often. So in my role as a coach, I work with lots of different people who reveal their deepest longings, their fears, their thoughts. So I get to work with all and hear all. And I do think that coaching is a service role. The coach is a tool that the client uses to help them work out and live a fulfilled life. So I do consider this part of my life as serving others on a day-to-day basis, whether it's individuals, groups, whatever. So I also think in this day and age, when there is so much diversity of opinion, which often seems to polarize people into two camps that were never going to agree, that the love all part is useful. I mean, I don't think that love all means necessarily that you have to like everyone or agree all of the time. But it puts me in mind of another saying that I love, which is being heard is so close to being loved that for the average person, they're almost indistinguishable. So hearing people, making people feel heard and seen can equate to loving them. So how do you do that? Well, I think it requires active listening and seeking to understand, putting your own ego, your own thoughts to one side, listening to understand rather than to fight back or knock them down or respond. So when I meet or hear people that I instinctively, my first impression is I don't like them, don't agree with them, then I try to understand them, look at it from their point of view, look at it from a different perspective than my own. So I may have to get to the point where I kind of think, well, I think I'm going to have to agree to disagree. But at least where possible in my own way, I've done my best to hear them and see them, understand them. So for me, that is part of loving all. And in terms of serve all, for me, that's much simpler in a way. It's about adding value where you can, helping where you can, and to the best of your capability, making a positive contribution to humanity and the world. So one thing to note is that you cannot pour from an empty cup. So this isn't about you putting everybody else's needs ahead of your own. You know, if you do that, you'll be no use to anybody because you'll be exhausted. But I think it's about using your energy in the right way to help, serve, do what you can to make things better. Yeah, so love all, serve all. What do you think? Has that inspired you? Is that something that you can live by? Or is it something you don't agree with? Let me know your thoughts. All right, and I will see you